Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. So good. Trying to get this evenly in the frame. Sometime I'll get it. Anywho, I'm so excited about October. And we're at the beginning of a brand new month, and that always brings its own new fun. You know, I love a fresh start, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. Good morning, Keels. How are you this morning? Are you ready to get artsy? I sure am. I sure am. So, I have this idea, or I had this idea, that for the month of October, good morning, Susan? For the month of October, I was talking yesterday in my... There you go. That's like a prize, right? Instead of a sticker or a sucker at the doctor's appointment, you get to come home and play with paint and paper. I think that's a perfect payoff. That's a perfect prize for getting your flu shot. Yeah, I got mine the last time I got my next shingle shot, my second shingle shot. But the time before that, because you have to kind of stagger them, you know. So anyway, I was talking yesterday in my stitch along group about all the different things that are the creative challenges that happen during the month of October, because I think it's a name. October is a name that's easy to replace the beginning part with something else. And so, like I've seen Calmtober, where you only create every other day. I've seen Inktober, that's the biggest one that's out there that I see. Painttober, Hygge-tober. So hygge is a Danish word. I think I found out about hygge when I designed some Norwegian stamps for my friend Connie, who belongs to the no, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a like a fraternal order of Norwegian people. And so and hygge means cozy and homey and that kind of thing. So hey Valerie. So I also saw Walktober, which I was like, ooh, let's get on board with that. That sounds good. I went for a little walk just around my backyard this morning, just looking at things and pondering, and it was actually kind of cool. It's going to get hot today, but this morning it was cool. But I didn't have enough time to go on a big walk, so after class I'll go on my bigger walk. Okay, so I thought about, and we did it last year. We did Arttober, A-R-T, Ober. And I thought this year, let's do Arttober in a new way. Let's do Arttober where we do artsy layers. So I think mostly backgrounds. Let's play with some artsy backgrounds, or artsy building pieces that we can create with. So that's what I have in store for us today. I'm super excited. It's a super fun technique. If you are brand new here, if you would like, follow and subscribe, comment and share and Corbiere-Scott Designs on the following social media platforms, I would greatly appreciate that. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And then asked to join Stitch Along with Anne and Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook groups. Both of those are Facebook groups. And you can be much more interactive in the Facebook groups. I wish I would have known that when I started the Facebook page, because I would have just made the Facebook group. But I didn't, and so now we have both. Okay, so I am starting out this morning with just a piece of our 90-pound watercolor paper. So everybody grab that. And some water in my cup. And my watercolors. And plastic wrap. Good morning, Kay. Oh my gosh, you're going to be so happy. So I had my cataracts done last summer, and oh my gosh, I was so happy. I was so happy. I was so happy. And I'm sure you will be too. Well, if you just had your second one, then that means you had your first one a couple weeks ago. So I'm sure you have experienced that. Sorry. Sorry. You've experienced that colors are so much brighter and clearer and just vibrant. I'm sure you've already experienced that with your first eye, so your second eye will be the same, and it just is better. Oh my goodness, something's in the air today. Okay, so we're going to take our, thank you, Valerie. We're going to take our piece of watercolor paper, and I'm just using my 90-pound watercolor paper, but you can do whatever you want. I just grabbed this morning. I'm going to try this also. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to try this also on a piece of copy paper that I have coated with watercolor ground, just to see what happens. Okay, so what we're going to do, and I've already activated my paints. So what we're going to do is we're going to do wet on wet watercolor painting. So, oh, everybody take a drink. Let's be all hydrated and ready to go. Okay, so you're in the million drops in your eyes.
Is there something else?
Sorry, my watch key. I need to put it away. It's talking at me this morning, and I don't know what button I pushed that made that all of a sudden happen, but I did. Okay. So we're going to do wet on wet watercoloring. So I'm going to use a bunch of different ways to put some water on my page. I'm going to use a pipette and just get some big chunks of water. I'm going to use a big brush. So many drops. You think, can my eyes even absorb that much water? But somehow they do. I don't know. Especially at the surgery part. You're putting more water in my eye? More drops in my eyes? Okay, so now so I spread some with my brush. I'm just tapping it. I'm going to, I think I have this bigger filbert. I think this is I don't even know what size it is, but whatever. I'm going to just do some splat, right? Okay, and now I'm going to do colors. And I'm feeling like I want to do some purple. You see, I'm just adding some color where the water is, little by little. Now let's add some of this, another purple. I'm just using my Art of Soil watercolors, but you can use whatever you've got. Just get lots of color down. I'm thinking I might put some blue in here too, just to see what happens. There we go. I'm trying to work kind of quickly so that I get lots of color down. Whoops. I'm gonna try some other blues. This deep sea blue. See what happens with when I add some of that. Ooh, that's pretty, isn't it? Get some more of that color down. And maybe I'll just do some splatter of that blue. Just make it interesting, you know. Let's splatter some of this Durango. See what happens there. Okay, and now I'm gonna move this aside slightly, pull this down a little bit, and now I'm gonna take my saran, or plastic wrap, I should say. So you could do this in a couple of ways. You can do this in a couple of sheets of saran, or you can do plastic wrap, I'm sorry, or you can do one big sheet. So I'm doing one big sheet, just because that's what I did, no particular reason. And we're going to put it down on our painting, right? And we're going to squish it. Oh, this is the thing about plastic wrap, isn't it? It clings to itself, hence the name cling wrap. So, but I want to get as much crinkly action as possible on mine, so I'm trying to undo it and cover as much paint with the cling wrap as possible, so I get lots of cool effects. Right? And now we're going to set this aside to dry, and it's going to take a while. Okay. And I don't know a way to speed this up, because you're really going to want all the lines and stuff. So I'm going to put this aside to dry. I have a little fan that I'm going to kind of turn on it. See if that helps some. We'll see. But I'm going to try with this one. So now this is the piece of copy paper, you can see, that I coated with watercolor ground. So let's see what happens with that. See if I can get similar effects. It's all about experimenting, right? And these are all things you should have in your house. Everybody has cling wrap. Everybody has paper and watercolors, right? So I'm going to take my big brush, and I'm just going to paint lots of water on here. So we're doing wet on wet. I just kind of love that. I love wet on wet because it's kind of, it just becomes kind of blobby. And so I should tell you that I found this technique. Well, I found it through a couple of different artists, where we're going with this. So, and I will give you their names to look them up. You know what? I need to get some color on here before I start blabbing about other things. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so I'm going to try, let's do red, orange, and yellow this time around. So let's get some yellow down. I get myself all excited about stuff and then I, you know. Get distracted by the colors. And that's our job right now. Our job is to get color down on this paper. Now let's try some red. It's going to be pretty. These colors look so pretty together. So I have, each Thursday, I have a new artsy layer that we're going to create during Arttober. So get ready. Get ready, everybody. Let's do some of that splatter. I'm really kind of digging that idea. Just want lots of visual interest. Want my colors a bit more intense on here. It's kind of I'm sure it's because my paper is so much thinner, but okay. Now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull a length of plastic wrap. And this plastic wrap has this funny little cutter that kind of goes across, but you have to line it up perfectly. So that always takes me a little bit. So I'm trying to shake this out so it's as flat as possible. Okay. There's a foldy up part. Okay. So I'm going to squish it down. And then let it dry. This one is much lighter than the other one, but we can make that work later. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. Let's see how this one is doing. That seems like it's still pretty, it's pretty wet. I wonder if I flip it and I blow the heat gun on the backside. Let's see what happens. It's kind of melting the cling wrap, so I need to be careful about that. I don't want it to adhere to the paper, because that's a whole other technique. So let's see if I peel this up. Maybe I just want a few more minutes down with it. How are we doing on time? Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk to you about while we're letting this dry. I recently ordered some spices from a place called Penzies, and I've been seeing their stuff for a really long time. And I just recently placed an order, so now I'm so excited. So I'll show you what I ordered, and I ordered all trial size, like little. I know, but outside is like up the stairs and out through the kitchen, so it would take me a little bit. So while we're waiting, I'll show you all the spices I got, and you can decide if you want to go check them out or not. So it's called Penzies, Penzeys, Penzies. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, I ordered trial sizes of a whole bunch of them so that I can test them out. So there's Arizona Dreaming. That sounded kind of interesting. And most of the ones I ordered are salt-free. So Arizona Dreaming, Justice. I promise I did read the I will, Keels, but I'll show you, I will do that when we do the next step. Lemon pepper seasonings, and now Curvy, Forward, Flavor Your World, Krakow Nights, Polish style seasoning. Doesn't that sound interesting? I'm telling you, all of their stuff has the coolest names. World's Best Ground Pepper. I am a pepper freak. I love ground pepper. I love black pepper. Justice. I must have ordered 2 of those. Galina's chicken and pork rib. 33rd and Galina's. So now I have to find out where 33rd and Galina's is. Oh my gosh. Look at this one. Ruth Ann's Muskego Avenue chicken and fish seasoning. Good for vegetables too. Mitchell Street steak seasoning. Outrage of Love. Come on. They're so cool. Greek seasoning. And there was one more sandwich seasoning that I tried on a turkey sandwich last night, and it was quite delicious. Anyway, so if you're... Oh, good. Thanks, Keels, for putting the link. Anyway, you can buy these little trial packs so you can just taste it. You can just try it out, which I think so many more businesses should do that. Do you know what I mean? So many more businesses should just let you give it a try and see which ones you like before you buy a big thing. Okay, so there was that. What was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about? I have my little list. All my things to chat about. So we're going to do Arttober here each Thursday in the month of October. And then Stitchtober in my Stitch Along group, because I have some new designs out for fall. I have Halloween that I'm working on right now, but my fall stuff is on its way, and it just made its debut yesterday, and oh my gosh, I'm so proud of it, and I can hardly wait to stitch it along with everybody. So we've decided that we're going to have Stitchtober in our Stitch Along Facebook group. Let's see. I'm feeling like it might be okay to, let's see. Nope. Still needs to be done. It's not dry enough to make the lines. Yesterday, no, excuse me, the day before yesterday, we did, the new art printable, which is, Here we go. Which is Hey Boo card candy. Don't forget that this artwork will be featured on Saturday's World Card Making Day. So we'll be making all kinds of cards on Saturday for World Card Making Day pop-in paint party, 9 o'clock Arizona time, like always. Live, and if you want to watch it on the replay, it's available anytime. I'm going to post a card today that Joni and Corbiere-Scott Designs team member Joni created. Oh my gosh, wait till you see it. We'll do something sort of like that on Saturday. It's so brilliant. It's so brilliant. I can't wait to share. Anyway, so just remember, so make sure that you snatch up one of these and paint, and then we will make all manner of cards on Saturday in our pop-in paint party. Special Saturday edition. This is still pretty wet. Let me see if I pull that. No. Anyway, let's set that aside. And while I'm doing that, I can fiddle with these a little bit. I painted these all with this Art of Soul Vibrant 12D Vibrant collection. So I'm going to, let's see. I've got this little filbert. I think it's a number 4 filbert. That I'm going to do some Jiggy Jaggy blend right here. And while I do that, and I push that dark to the corner, I'm going to wipe off that excess pigment onto my paper towel. I had the best visit with Carmen and Joni yesterday. You forget, sometimes we don't chat with our friends, or we don't hang with our friends, and then we do, and you forget how healing they are for your soul. And those two are healing for my soul, that's for sure. And we had laughs and some delicious dip that Carmen made, and strawberries and grapes that were so good. We were talking about how grapes are such a tricky thing, aren't they? You never know if you're going to get a great batch of grapes or a mediocre batch of grapes, right? So let's, I remember I said that I wanted to, because I got some of these dots on here, I wanted to cut this out and do some splat on here, but I think I want to deepen the purple. They are a hootenanny, I'm telling you right this minute. Well, and you've witnessed it up close and personal, Keels. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. So Keely and our friend Carolyn and I were having a chat this morning about Anne of Green Gables. So Anne of Green Gables is special to us because during a recent girls' trip to Prince Edward Island, we went to Anne's home, and it was, oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was amazing. Anyway, Keely said, I'm rereading Anne of Green Gables during the month of October. And I was like, oh, that's a brilliant idea. That's a brilliant idea. And so I was like, you know what? I will too. And Carolyn was like, yep, me too. And then, because, Anne famously says, I'm so happy. I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers. So I thought that's going to be our catchphrase for our October, one of our October layouts in our art journals. I thought that would be brilliant. So I want to get kind of a variety of colors in here. So good. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Okay. Let's try this. I love to every now and again take a piece and just take it to its next artsy level. Do you know what I mean? Like this one, I knew I wanted to paint with like multiple purples, and then I want to do that splatter. I just feel like that will be a really cool technique. Dry, dry, dry. There we go. Okay, now let's cut this kitty cat out. Okay. Set that aside. And now let's take some water. Let's take a smaller brush and do that. And just get some polka dots on there. Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna let it sit, right? Good morning, Denise. How are you this morning? Anyway, so if you get the chance, maybe read along with Keely and I, Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. I think we will all have ourselves a time. And if you're not a reader, which I can't imagine that you're not, but if you're not, there are lots of versions of Anne of Green Gables online on streaming platforms that you can watch. There's a good one on PBS, which I think, I'm trying to think where, oh, everybody take a drink. I'm just mixing my little grapefruit additive to my water this morning. $64 ounces. And with an E. You know what? I think it's on Netflix too. That was a good one, Keel. That was a good one. Okay, so now I'm going to take my paper towel and blot. See what happens. That's kind of a funky blot. I don't know. That is really funky. I don't know. Let's try it and then, I don't know, see where we go. Oh, I can't wait to do more and more and more to this Kit Kat. Okay, let's try this. See how we're doing. Still kind of cold, so that means, okay, you know what? I'm just going to peel it now. Okay. There we go. Stop it. Look how beautiful it is. Now, I'm going to hit that with the heat gun and dry. Let's get some good dark colors over here. Okay, so the original artist who kind of created this technique and shared it, her name, well, her Instagram name is BLOMPLING, Blomping, BLOMPLING. So she starts out with this, the wet on wet watercolor with kind of cling wrap. And then she starts a process of enhancing this. And what she creates are stones. So, oh my gosh, and you gotta check her out because her stones are just incredible. So now, what she does is she takes the smallest brush I have. Well, I guess I'll just use this. I thought I had a, nope, I do have a number 4 round over here. Okay, so now where the lines are, she will paint between those spaces. So I'm going to take this deeper purple and load my brush up. And she starts to, where the lines are, she starts to fill in right? Look at how dark that is. I need to kind of move that color along so it's not so intense right there. So I'm just going to keep pulling from that. Filling in the lines. And this is going to take time, but remember, all good things take time. Right? So this one isn't going to be all done today, but I will share more steps. There, I'm barely touching my substrate. Turn your paper so that it's easier for you. Put some pigment on your brush, and then I like to tap it off so it's not super, so I don't get that. It was what I should have done there. Right? So we're just going to continue to build. You can lift some colors with, like we did on here, by doing the splatter technique and then lifting color with a paper towel to start to build like where your highlights are. But you're going to start to go over the stones. So each one of these sections is going to kind of represent a stone, and you're going to go over them with shadows and highlights over and over and over. So we're just going to work in very thin, easy layers, right? And this is, you can absolutely get in the zone doing this one, right? Do you see how it's already starting to build? This, mine looks kind of crystally more than stones. Hers are rounded. So now I'm like, what did she do to make that happen? So I wet my brush, tap off the excess, grab a little bit more pigment on my brush, turn so my hand is comfortable, start going over lines again. Look at that. It's making me so happy. I hope you will go and check out her work. It's just incredible and so inspiring. So inspiring. So this one's a little bit more blue, so let's pull some blue onto our brush, tap off, and then let's get some blue. Oh, look at that. And I am just seriously just barely touching my paper. Kind of holding my brush in a way that I'm pulling back just a little bit. There we go. And I'm starting to kind of blend the purple and the blue, so I get this really heathery, beautiful blend of those two colors. That's really making me so happy. And because these are all so blendy, think about either color is going to look beautiful, right? Either the purple or the blue, because they're all kind of, it's all kind of mixed together in this beautiful, almost like a mosaic vibe going on here. So like I said, little bitty layers and layers and layers. And we're just gonna, like I said, light layers over and over. There we go. A little more color on there. I love that. Hmm. I want that purple and blue to kind of blend into each other. That'll be pretty. And that's going to start to like make areas that recede. And that's going to be really cool. Now let's add a little bit more purple here. So we have a little bit more. That blend, that kind of natural blend, that's so pretty. And then we can pull some of that right down there. I hope that you're painting along and seeing the stones that just appear, and because that's what she really talked about, how the stones will just kind of appear to you, like this one, right? This one was very apparent because we had some good strong lines. Some of them might not be so apparent. So once I'm done with filling in the lines of this, and you're seeing how this is already giving so much more depth to this, right? But then think about the next step we can do is we can enhance with some colored pencils maybe, or maybe paint in some rocks in areas that, like I have this big open area right here. Do I want to make that all dark? Do I want to make that another rock, another stone? I don't know. They might just appear to you. But we're just going to continue with this through the... You see a heartstone. All right. Tell me where. Right here? Is it here? Oh, Nance. No, did you see another one besides that? Is it that one, or do you see another one? Now I'm all excited. Upper right. In this way or this way? Upper right. Here? Right here? Is that what you're talking about? Too wet. Here? No. Upper right. No. Lower left. Right here? Right there? Right here. Denise. Maybe so, Keels. There's a lot of heart shapes. To the right of the kite. Oh my gosh, you're to the right of the kite. Right here. I think I see it. Right here. Hey, Linz, how are you? So so for the month of October, we are doing Arttober. And we are, Nancy's trying to show me where the heart is on this piece that I'm, anyway, I saw a cool technique that, by an artist on Instagram called BLOMPLING. And oh my gosh, all glory to her. All glory to her, let me just tell you. Her techniques are, oh my gosh. She deserves all the credit. So everybody follow her and tell her how amazing her stuff is. Stop it! You guys. I'm loving this. And it's kind of just what I needed because I have all of these looming deadlines in my head. I think they look like crystals too. Oh, thanks, Keels. So Keels just put a link to her Instagram. Her stuff is just so inspiring. I know. I was thinking the same thing, Linz. I'm home for a little while, so now's a good time. I really like when the blue and the purple blend. That's so pretty together. Let's get some more of that blue in there. There we go. So peaceful. Oh, so happy. Okay, let's do comfort book really quick. Nothing is closed. One of the reasons we like stories is because we like structure. We like a beginning, a middle, and an end. We especially like a good ending. Think of all the times our opinion of a book or a movie has hinged on the ending. If a movie has a terrible ending, it often ruins the whole thing for us. The film director Jean-Luc Godard said a story should have a beginning, middle, and end, but not necessarily in that order. I used to love that quote and agree with it until I went through a breakdown and craved the comfort of classic narratives, of beginnings and middles and ends in that order. I liked endings that wrapped things up nicely with a big bow. I craved resolution, but of course, life doesn't really have a resolution. Even death isn't a resolution. Even if we don't believe in an afterlife, we have to acknowledge that the world after us goes on in unknowable ways, and also the ways people will or will not remember us are unknowable too. There are only open endings in life, and this isn't a curse. This is a good thing. As Buddhist thinker Pema Chodron puts it, we suffer from resolution. I find that idea so liberating, to admit that closure is unreachable in a universe where everything is open. Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it? Well, I hope that you will all continue to paint on your artsy layer. I hope that you will I am painting in such a way that I am really holding back on my brush so that I get the thinnest of lines, the little bittiest of pigment onto my substrate. It's making me so happy. Do not forget that registration is open for Back to Art School 102, which is featuring Crayola Swirl, Crayola Swirl colored pencils or rainbow colored pencils, highlighters, and Elmer's glue. Oh my gosh. Will you see? There's going to be a little artist study in there too. And so far, 3 art printables to practice those techniques. So that'll be fun. Her work is just unbelievable, isn't it, Keely? It's so beautiful. And she's so generous to share her techniques. That's for sure. So we need to make sure that we give her a shout out. I see myself doing lots of this technique. That's for sure. So I did repost the launch party yesterday from Adorn It, featuring my fall collection of embroidery patterns. So be sure to check that out. I reposted it in the Stitch Along Facebook group and Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group. Look at the addition of just that little bit of that bright pink, pinky purple. I can't remember what it's called, and I've painted just paint all over it. Thank you, Valerie. I can't wait to stitch it with you. I cannot wait to stitch it with you. I'm going to start bringing in some of these other colors into Mm-hmm. So just know this is going to be a slow, time-taking technique, but it's going to be so worth it. And I see myself doing some color mixing on right on my substrate, right within these lines. Like this one, look at the blue that's around is really, that's so funny, Kay. That's so funny. I think you'd love Instagram. Because it's just pictures, inspirational pictures. And you can save whatever you want. And then you have kind of like Pinterest. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is, oh my gosh, that is making me so happy. I'm kind of just doing, like, pulling that paint out, like, with a dot, 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 and that is really, that's really working for me, blendability-wise. It's kind of, it kind of looks batik, I think. And I was thinking about that yesterday because Carmen had this bag. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's so incredible. Why I didn't snap a picture, I don't know. But I will next time I see it with her. So she had this bag her sister made for her, and it was all like maybe 2x2 squares of like a rainbow of batik fabrics. Oh my gosh. It was so stunning. It just grabbed your attention. Anyway, I'm over. Big surprise, like always. So be sure to check out Back to Art School 102 on my website. And be sure to check out Blomping's Instagram. Be sure to mark on your calendars to join me on Saturday for World Card Making Day, where we will make all kinds of cards from 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock Arizona time, Saturday morning. But you can catch it on the replay if you have plans on Saturday morning. Be sure to check out Penzeys Seasoning. They have all. I can't wait to try all of them. I just can't wait. Anyway, go out and make it a tremendous Thursday. I know you all will. I adore you all. Thanks so much. And open your newsletter tomorrow. Bye, everyone.